curious. Can I be curious in July to watch Milan? I want to see how far behind from Arsenal are we. And yeah, well, we are pretty far, not only on a technical level, but also on physical level. The match was good, sustainable for the first 20-25 minutes, and then Arsenal just was too much for us. Eventually, in the second half, we conceded a very stupid goal, in my opinion, but hey, finished to watch the first match, the first L of the season, guys. The first L of the season under Allegri. Um, Here is my impression. Of course, I already highlights two big problems that surely Tare and Allegri they are already working on, because it's been pretty clear that defensively and in the midfield we have some problems. Okay, so how Milan actually faced this match? We played with Terracciano from the beginning. We actually played with the 3-5-2. Okay, so it's a little bit different from anything that we've seen before. Tomori, Chow, and Pavlovic, they started. Midfield was with Musarici, Loftus-Cheek, and Salemaker, and Pulisic and Rafa Leao as a striker. Now, as you can imagine, of course, the only true striker here, it was Rafa Leao, that played more as a 11, I would say, rather than the 10th that he is. Pulisic, try to connect the defense, the midfield, and attack, and a good tempo as well with the Loftus-Cheek that was trying to, to keep the ball, he's still studying, still trying to understand what actually Allegri wants from him. Arsenal, of course, they play with all their stars because they had, they had the Odegaard, they got the Rice, the Zinchenko, the Calafiori, the Saliba, the White, the Raya, the Martinelli, the Havertz, and the Bukayo Saka. So Milan has been playing now, training for the last we started on the 7th of July, we are on the 23rd, so a couple of weeks. Arsenal, clearly it is ahead of us, but because also their Campionato started a little bit early, and also because last season they qualified, they were quarter-final of Champions League, so they were pretty, technically and individually, they are way above us. Still, Milan just lost 1-0. Then after the 90 minutes, they actually wanted to play the penalty. For some reason, maybe just for the fun of the few supporters that they were watching the match in Singapore. Now, talking in the second half, actually, we got Gabbia for Tomori, Chukwueze for Salemaker as a defender, and Okafor for Pulisic. We got finally to see Torriani, which is an incredible under 21 years old from the Milan Primavera. I think it's 16 or 17, and he does remind me a lot of Donnarumma. A lot. So that get me really excited, because if eventually in the future Mike Maignan will go, I will definitely point everything that I have on this kid, Torriani, that already show a lot of personality. And on SofaScore, I just checked that had the best rating among everyone else with a 9.5. Okay. Then we played also with Bondo. We played with Liberali, with Colombo, and other guys from the Primavera. Now, talking about the defense, of course, this is football in July, guys. So it's pretty hard it's impossible to compare to anything that that we're gonna see. It's not even August, okay? So we are ages away. So this is that they are just consideration that you do after watching a match. You just try to say, okay, he's good, he's been shit, he's been talented, he can do better, and so on. However, here is my take. Defensively, Milan looks a little bit more compact behind. I have to say, the Allegri touch, you can already see the cortomuso, the idea of staying all in the back and not conceding goal. It's you can see that the player, they start to understand this, which is a good thing. However, especially when you build up the team like that, and then you're gonna try to have maybe the minimum ball control, and your action will start from the defense. What that Milan is missing right now, and is missing in general in all his 22, 24 players that will arrive for the beginning of the season, is a central defender with good feet. What I mean by that, I mean somebody that is able to do a cross, somebody that is able to do a long pass, somebody that is able to be intelligent tactically, to inspire this defense. Because in my opinion, what I see Tomori, Chao, and Pavlovic, I see all good single players. I don't see them as a unit. I don't see them as a working together. And whenever both Pavlovic or Tomori, they try to do the long pass, it's always not a precise long pass, which is, considering that in midfield we don't have Toni Kroos, Prime, Iniesta, and Busquets. So it could be a problem with the ball control, especially in the second half. Watching Okafor trying to control the ball was ridiculous. But what else? So yes, that's in my opinion somebody that I would love to have, somebody with actually intelligent in their feet, somebody that is tactically can read the situation and also do a good passing. Mainly, I would love to have somebody that can do a good passing. That's what my highlights are. Seeing Saelemaekers back in Rossonero is fantastic, because finally we can see the Salamella back in action. You can see all the passion, and you can see that he wants to stay here. And I'm sure that at least Allegri will try to keep him. Then what Forlani decides is another thing. But anyway, he played as a right back. He didn't have many chance to run away. Actually, the right side with in between, the Ricci, the Loftus-Cheek, the Tomori, the Saelemaekers, they were able to contain a little bit Arsenal. Meanwhile, on the other side, Pavlovic, Bartesaghi, Musa, completely out of this. Bartesaghi not ready yet, definitely. Talking about the midfield, Musa, it is consistently a bad player. I still don't understand how come he's still playing. And some people say, "Oh yeah, but he's a raw diamond. He's a raw diamond." Yeah, but this season is gonna have 24 years. Not sure how raw diamond it is at 24, right? Still the tactically unaware of what's going on around him. He constantly tried to do this dribble, and sometimes he also messed up trying to, I don't know, kind of what do you want to do, like a Yaya Toure things? What do you want trying to do? Physicality is there, but he got 2 feet of the same. He got 2 right foot. How do you say that? You got you know what I'm trying to say, right? He got 2 right foot, or 2 right or 2 left foot. I mean, whenever he kicked the ball, man, there is always a problem. I don't know. Horrible at shooting, crossing, passing, controlling. It is a player that it's okay for Torino, Bologna. No, maybe Bologna nowadays not anymore, but that right there. So far away from a good level of for Milan. I hope that he has to go, but maybe doesn't even have a lot of market, to be fair. Villarreal, I'm sure that they are. No, Valencia, I'm sure they are still happy because they sold us for 20 million Musa. 18 for TG Renders, remember that. And great, I have to say, Ricci. There was a lot of attention over Ricci. Of course, Ricci was, he can see that he's trying to taking control over the midfield. He's still far away from a good shape, but in my opinion, he did exactly what Allegri wanted him to do. So always be free in a moment of pressure for passing the ball and so on. When Arsenal was really with their defender line, they were pushing us in our field. Ricci was always able to try to find a free space to do an extra pass, remove a little bit of pressure over the ball control. And this is my opinion. Another thing that Milan have to focus is getting somebody better with, well, maybe even with experience. Now we have Modric, of course. We will see how many games they will play. And now tactically it makes sense because Modric, it is a player that can play under pressure. So Milan, lot of goals we conceded because the other team was pushing us, and we didn't have the kind of player that can support that kind of pressure, and then maybe passing the ball, look up and maybe do an assist for the Pulisic, the Chukwueze, the Rafa Leao, and so on. So in my opinion, we need at least another midfielder, because I don't want to see Musa play anymore. Loftus-Cheek can be trusted if he find the right position, and in my opinion, his position, it's a 8. It's not in the middle of the midfield. A little bit as he played today, but he need to go back to his prime confidence, like in the first year of Milan. Hopefully, he can stay fit and do that, and play better, because of course we need. Today when Okafor and Chukwueze came in, nothing changed. Nothing changed, guys. There was no such an incredible change of pace. There was not freshness. There was not dribbling. There was no. So before they do their TikTok dance, that drive me crazy watching them doing TikTok dance. You can do TikTok dance if you're good, but when you are bad and these are your performances, especially on Okafor that is overweight and is getting paid 3-4 million a year, it drives me a little bit crazy. Chukwueze has a contract, one of the highest of the team, is 4 million. This is the third year that we have Chukwueze. I'm start asking questions, guys, because if this is not his year, that's it. We're done even with Chukwueze. Musa, this is going to be his third year. I don't want to wait another year to say this is his last year. Fuck. Come on. Rafa Leao, as only striker, there is not much he can do. I understand that this is going to be his future position, especially as a left wing. He has to, if you want to score more goals, he's going to have to play as a forward striker. But, there is not much that I can complain about Rafa Leao, especially because he's our best player. And there is nothing that we can say about Rafa Leao, because if we start talking bad about Rafa Leao, what about the rest, man? What about the rest? Rafa is literally our best player. Anyway. And what else? What else did I wrote down here? No, Chukwueze. That's the last things I want to conclude this video about a recap. It's, of course, is an observation, is a personal thoughts over Milan mercato, but also about a player that I wanted him to be with the team in Asia, to try to work out his relationship with his colleagues, with his friends, with his let's say colleagues is better, with his colleagues, with the club, with the manager. Try to find the relationship with his new environment, that is Santiago Giménez. And I understand that last year, Santiago, you came to Milan in a moment that you were not 100% physically. Then the start wasn't that great last year. We were expecting a different kind of striker, but we gave you, we recognize your technical ability, and we are waiting for you, of course. I also understand that he played some sort of Copa America or whatever in between the North and Central European American teams, so he got a delayed with the preparation. But I think to enter into the mentality of Milan, you also have to spend a lot of time in Milan. And now I know he's injured, so he's taking longer holiday. I believe so. It's but now, for example, having Leao to play as a first striker, having to play Selemaker as a right back, having to play Bartesaghi as a left back, it's not helping the team for the future. That's why the mercato, especially if you arrive 8th in the campionato, 52, 53 points, how many points we did, conceding 60, I don't know how many goals. Having a little bit of standard means also that the mercato should move way faster. way faster. We should have the new left back in Asia already. We should have a new right back already in Asia. We should have a new striker already in Asia. So this is my four things that I need in this Milan right now. I need a better defender, somebody that can defend and actually do long passes. I need an extra midfielder in order to help the Ricci, the Modric, the Fofana as a substitute that is actually worth substitute. It's not the Musa. It's not the Loftus-Cheek adapted. We need a substitute striker. We need a substitute striker. And the right back. This is the minimum that I think if you want to be in Champions League next year. Because that's the goal of Milan, be in Champions League next year. Right now, with this team, I know it's July, it's super early, and then, of course, a lot of things are going to, depending on the form of the team, depending on the season, depending on the relationship and of the team with the manager, with the club, with the fans, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. This team that we watched tonight, we cannot reach the fourth spot. If that is the question that you want to know when you start watching the video. This Milan is not ready. Okay? Missing a lot of things. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy the video, hopefully you watch it all. Please leave a comment on your thoughts. What's your expectation for this season in Milan? And that's all. Hopefully we're gonna get right back as soon as possible. Ciao e forza Milan. Forza al diavolo, cazzo.